AGT champion and winner of $1 million is Richard Goodall!
If you won $1 million in the America's Got Talent competition, would you still go back to your old life as a janitor?
Richard Goodall, the winner of America's Got Talent, is finally back here in Indiana tonight.
Your answer might just be the opposite of what Richard Goodall did. He grabbed his mop again despite the financial reward and career opportunities he had achieved. It must be tragic for Richard to do this. Let's find out why. A golden voice that returned home. When Richard Goodall walked onto the America's Got Talent stage, few could have guessed the profound impact he would have on millions. A soft-spoken janitor from Terre Haute, Indiana, with a deep love for music. Goodall wasn't there for fame or fortune. He just wanted to share his voice. And what a voice it was! With his powerful rendition of Journey's "Don't Stop Believin'," he didn't just impress the judges, he struck a chord with people around the world. He earned the coveted Golden Buzzer and eventually won the entire season. But perhaps what was most surprising about his journey wasn't his incredible talent, it was what he chose to do after achieving nationwide recognition. Richard Goodall went back to work as a janitor. At a time when most people would use their moment in the spotlight to chase fame, Goodall made a different kind of statement. He returned to West Vigo High School, the place where he had worked for over 20 years, and picked up where he left off. Mopping floors, cleaning classrooms, and checking in on the students he had come to love like family. Why? That's the question everyone wanted to know. The answer, as it turns out, is both simple and profound. Goodall didn't see himself as a star. He saw himself as part of a community, a mentor to kids, and someone who genuinely loved his work, even if it wasn't glamorous. He told reporters that he planned to keep working at the school until I can't anymore. In a world that often pressures people to move on, to climb higher, to always be looking for what's next, Goodall's choice to stay grounded was not only refreshing, it was inspiring. When he returned to the school after his AGT win, the reception was nothing short of emotional. The students and staff welcomed him back with open arms. There was a school-wide pep rally in his honor, and he was given the key to the city. The community didn't just admire him for his talent, they admired him for what he represented. Here was someone who had proven that dreams can come true without losing touch with reality. Someone who showed that being proud of who you are doesn't require changing who you are. The feedback from the public was overwhelmingly positive. Social media exploded with messages of admiration. "This couldn't have happened to a better, more influential man," one commenter wrote. Another person said, "He's living proof that you can chase your dreams and still remember where you came from." His story wasn't just about a janitor who could sing. It was about a man who represented hope, humility, and the value of staying true to yourself. Goodall's return to work also carried deeper implications. In many ways, it flipped the script on what society typically values. We often celebrate celebrities, CEOs, and influencers, forgetting that the people who quietly serve our communities, teachers, custodians, bus drivers, have their own kind of greatness. By going back to his job, Richard elevated the dignity of work itself. He showed that what you do matters, not because of its title or paycheck, but because of the heart you bring to it. And he hasn't stopped singing. Alongside his day job, Goodall has continued to explore musical opportunities. He's sung the national anthem at major events and has been invited to perform at shows, including opening for AGT judge Howie Mandel. He even dreams of collaborating with Barry Manilow, one of his lifelong musical heroes. For him, music and janitorial work don't have to be in conflict. They coexist. One fulfills his passion, the other his purpose. There's something poetic about that balance. It speaks to a kind of life that isn't often glorified, one built on kindness, consistency, and quiet courage. Goodall never needed a record deal or a mansion to feel successful. He found purpose in the halls of a public school and joy in singing songs that moved people. That's why his story continues to resonate, not just with music fans, but with anyone who's ever had a dream and wondered if it was too late. Sometimes, the most powerful thing you can do after being seen by the world is to walk right back into the place that first believed in you and keep doing what you love. Because, in the end, maybe the greatest kind of star is the one who never forgot how to shine in ordinary places, from humble janitor to singing star. Richard Goodall's story is one of those rare, feel-good tales that seem pulled straight from a movie script. A humble janitor with a hidden gift, quietly working behind the scenes for decades, only to step into the spotlight and win hearts across the world. But before all the viral fame, the TV appearances, and the golden buzzer moment on America's Got Talent, Richard was just a regular guy from Terre Haute, Indiana, doing his job, singing in the hallways, and spreading positivity wherever he went. Richard Goodall was born and raised in Terre Haute, a small city in western Indiana. Growing up in a working-class family, music was always a part of his life, though not in any formal way. He wasn't classically trained or enrolled in elite music programs. Instead, he found comfort and joy in singing along to the radio and listening to legends like Journey, Barry Manilow, and Michael Bolton. These were the voices that shaped his musical taste and taught him how to sing from the heart. Though Richard dreamed of becoming a singer, life had other plans. Like many people, he put those dreams on the back burner to focus on making a living. He started working various jobs and eventually found steady employment as a janitor. For over 20 years, he served as a custodian at West Vigo Middle and High School. It wasn't glamorous work, but it was honest, and he took pride in it. Over the years, Richard became something of a beloved fixture at the school. Students knew him not just for his friendly demeanor, but for his voice. He would often sing while mopping floors or cleaning classrooms. It wasn't long before students began to encourage him to sing more, telling him he had a real talent. They weren't just being nice. His voice was genuinely powerful, rich with emotion and resonance. Do you remember his audition song in AGT? What started as casual singing around the school eventually led to small performances. One of the turning points came when Richard sang "Don't Stop Believin'" by Journey during a school event. A video of that performance made its way online, and in true internet fashion, it caught fire. His raw, passionate performance resonated with people, and the video went viral on TikTok and other platforms. The viral moment opened a door that Richard never imagined would be possible at his age. He was invited to audition for America's Got Talent, a dream come true. There, in front of a live audience and celebrity judges, he once again performed "Don't Stop Believin'." His rendition wasn't just technically impressive, it was emotionally moving. Judge Heidi Klum was so taken by his authenticity and talent that she hit the golden buzzer, sending him straight to the live shows. As the competition progressed, Richard continued to impress with classic hits like Michael Bolton's "How Am I Supposed to Live Without You?", which he dedicated to his fiancée, Angie. Each performance revealed more layers of his vocal ability and emotional depth. He wasn't just singing songs, he was telling stories, and people felt every word. In a truly full-circle moment, during the AGT finale, Richard performed "Don't Stop Believin'" alongside Neil Schon, Journey's lead guitarist. That night, he was crowned the winner of Season 19, bringing his once unthinkable dream into stunning reality. Despite his sudden fame, Richard has stayed grounded. He returned to work at West Vigo High School not because he had to, but because he wanted to. The students and staff were like family to him, and he wasn't ready to leave that part of his life behind just yet. At the same time, his musical career began to blossom. Richard's story is more than just a viral moment. It's a reminder that talent can come from anywhere and that dreams don't expire with age. He's proof that kindness, perseverance, and authenticity still matter in a world that often prioritizes flash over substance. His journey from janitor to national sensation is not just about singing. It's about believing in yourself, even when the odds seem stacked against you. So next time you hear someone singing in a hallway or humming while they work, pay attention. You might just be witnessing the beginning of the next Richard Goodall story. The bashing surrounding his rise to fame. As is often the case with public figures who experience a sudden rise to fame, not everyone was equally enthusiastic. While many celebrated his success, others raised concerns and criticisms, particularly surrounding his artistic merit, originality, and the direction talent shows like AGT are taking. One of the most consistent criticisms leveled at Goodall is that his performances leaned heavily on nostalgia rather than innovation. Detractors argued that while he sang classic hits like Don't Stop Believin' with passion, his approach was essentially karaoke-level mimicry rather than artistic interpretation. Some felt that his performances lacked a unique signature or stylistic twist that would elevate them from cover songs to something more musically transformative. In this sense, a portion of critics saw him more as a glorified karaoke singer than a true artist. This viewpoint stirred debate about what should be expected from contestants on a national talent platform. Is raw emotion and vocal ability enough? Or should artists also bring something fresh and creatively distinct to the table? The conversation didn't stop at just his singing style. Goodall's win led to broader debates about the evolving nature of talent competitions. Shows like America's Got Talent often aim to celebrate diversity in performance and backstory. But that balance between technical artistry and emotional storytelling can be polarizing. Some fans and critics alike voiced concern that the show increasingly favors personal narratives and emotional appeal over groundbreaking talent. In Goodall's case, his compelling backstory, being a longtime janitor who worked quietly for decades, certainly played a role in capturing hearts. Critics questioned whether a more technically skilled or innovative singer would have stood a chance without such a moving narrative to accompany their performance. Moreover, in the age of social media, opinions, both positive and negative, spread quickly. While many shared heartfelt messages celebrating Goodall's journey, there was also a fair amount of online discourse that challenged his win. Posts questioning the fairness of results or comparing his skills unfavorably to other contestants circulated widely. Some viewers felt that the voting process was more emotionally driven than talent-based, reflecting a wider cultural shift in how we evaluate entertainment. The perception of Goodall as more of a symbol than a serious musical contender made some people uneasy, especially those who prioritize musical innovation over relatability. That being said, it's important to note that criticism does not necessarily diminish the legitimacy of Goodall's achievements. What it does highlight is a divide in public expectations. One camp values authenticity, emotional connection, and relatability, qualities Goodall undeniably possesses in abundance. The other prioritizes originality, technical skill, and artistic evolution. These contrasting ideals have long shaped the landscape of shows like AG, and Goodall's win served to bring that tension into sharper focus. Goodall's victory was met with mixed reactions. While many appreciated his story and talent, critics argued that his performances lacked diversity and originality. Some fans described his singing style as too similar to karaoke, expressing that his win may have been more about his personal narrative than his artistic versatility. Online discussions revealed that a portion of the audience believed the show prioritized emotional appeal over showmanship or professional potential. One commenter captured this sentiment by saying, "America voted for the story. So many acts were better and Vegas worthy." Among the other finalists, several acts stood out as strong contenders for the win. Ronnie Sagi and her dog, Rhythm, dazzled audiences with their well-choreographed, entertaining routines. The level of precision and connection displayed in their performances impressed both judges and viewers. Many fans felt that such a unique and difficult act showcased true performance talent and deserved top honors. Additionally, Brent Street, a dynamic dance group, earned widespread praise for their innovative storytelling through dance. Their polished routines and emotional depth distinguished them as Vegas-ready performers. While Richard Goodall's AGT victory was a testament to the power of heartfelt storytelling and raw talent, it also highlighted the inherently subjective nature of reality competition shows. His relatable persona and emotional connection to viewers undoubtedly played a key role in his success. Nonetheless, other finalists such as Ronnie Sagi and Rhythm and Brent Street demonstrated equally, if not more, compelling artistry and skill. The debate over who should have won underscores the complex balance AGT strikes between talent and personal narrative in determining its champions. Goodall's story resonated with millions not just because of his voice, but because of who he is. Still, his rise to fame wasn't without its critics. While some praised his authenticity, others questioned the artistic depth of his performances and the criteria used to crown winners in national competitions. His case opens up an important dialogue about what it means to be talented in today's entertainment world, and whether emotional impact should ever outweigh creative originality. Let's get to know other AGT winners that went back to their own lives. You might remember a few of them. Michael Grimm, the blues singer's return to familiar grounds. Michael Grimm, the Season 5 winner of America's Got Talent, impressed both the judges and audience with his soulful voice and heartfelt blues performances. A quiet and humble performer, Grimm won hearts with his renditions of classics like When a Man Loves a Woman, which ultimately earned him the AGT title and a $1 million prize. Following his win, he signed a record deal and released a self-titled album that enjoyed modest commercial success. He also performed in Las Vegas and made appearances on national television shows, including The Ellen DeGeneres Show. Despite these accomplishments, Grimm gradually retreated from the spotlight. He later shared in interviews that the fast-paced nature of fame and the demands of the entertainment industry took a toll on his mental health. In time, he chose to prioritize his personal well-being and the life he had before AGT. Grimm returned to Mississippi, where he resumed working in construction and focused on spending more time with family. His story highlights the reality that even winning a nationally televised competition may not be enough to sustain a long-term career in show business, especially for artists who value authenticity and personal peace over constant public exposure. Kevin Skinner, from country singer to quiet life. Kevin Skinner, the winner of America's Got Talent Season 4, captivated audiences with his raw, heartfelt country music. His powerful, yet unassuming voice struck a chord with fans, especially with his performances of classic country hits like If Tomorrow Never Comes and The Dance. His down-to-earth demeanor and humble background endeared him to many, and his victory on the show led to a surge of popularity. After his win, Skinner released an album titled Long Road, which showcased his distinctive country sound and featured a mix of original songs and covers. He also made several public appearances and performed in various venues, including at country music festivals, and even toured briefly in the aftermath of his success. However, despite the initial excitement and opportunities that came with his newfound fame, Kevin Skinner gradually distanced himself from the limelight. While many AGT winners capitalize on their exposure by pursuing a full-time career in entertainment, Skinner opted for a more private lifestyle. Reports suggest that he returned to his roots, resuming his work in construction, a field he had worked in before America's Got Talent. Skinner's decision to step away from the pressure of the public eye and focus on a simpler life highlights a desire for peace and normalcy. He has since remained largely out of the public eye, preferring to avoid the spotlight and live a life more in line with his values. Skinner's story reflects the tension between fame and the comfort of a quiet life. For some, the dream of stardom can give way to the reality of the pressures and sacrifices that accompany public life. Kevin Skinner's choice to return to construction, his former line of work, speaks volumes about the importance of personal contentment and the challenge of balancing fame with a sense of self. Neil E. Boyd, the opera singer's final act. Neil E. Boyd, the winner of America's Got Talent Season 3, became a household name after his stirring performances of classical opera arias. His powerful tenor voice, which could effortlessly navigate the complexities of opera, impressed both the judges and the audience. Boyd's rendition of Nessun Dorma during his audition remains one of the most iconic moments in AGT history, showcasing his vocal prowess and emotional depth. His victory catapulted him into the spotlight, and he quickly gained a following among classical music fans and the broader public. Following his win, Boyd capitalized on his newfound fame by releasing an album, My American Dream, which featured his operatic renditions of popular songs. He also performed at prestigious events, including a memorable performance at the White House for President Barack Obama during a celebration of the arts. It seemed as though Boyd's future was bright in the entertainment industry, and many expected him to continue his rise in the music world. However, Boyd's journey was not without its challenges. In the years following his victory, Boyd faced a series of personal struggles, including health issues and financial difficulties. He was diagnosed with heart failure and had to undergo multiple surgeries to address his condition. These challenges, combined with the pressures of fame, eventually led Boyd to step away from the public eye. Rather than pursuing a long-term career in the entertainment industry, Boyd chose to return to his roots in Sikeston, Missouri, where he had previously worked as a public servant. This decision marked a shift away from the intense scrutiny of fame and toward a life focused on personal fulfillment and service to others. Boyd's decision to leave the spotlight is a poignant reminder of the transient nature of fame and the challenges that come with it. While many people dream of the kind of success that comes with winning AGT, Boyd's story illustrates that public acclaim does not always bring lasting happiness or fulfillment. For Boyd, returning to his work as a public servant allowed him to contribute to his community in a meaningful way and regain a sense of purpose. His story reflects a broader truth, that the pursuit of fame and success is not always the ultimate path to personal contentment. Neil E. Boyd's life after AGT serves as a powerful reminder that true fulfillment often lies in serving others and finding peace within oneself, rather than seeking the fleeting nature of celebrity. The stories of these AGT winners illustrate that success on a national stage does not always equate to lasting fame or fulfillment. For some, the pressures and expectations that accompany public recognition can be overwhelming, leading them to seek the comfort and stability of their previous careers. Marriage days before victory. The marriage of Richard Goodall and Angie Vanovan is a curious and unconventional union that has captured the attention of many. Their relationship, often described as odd, raises questions about societal expectations, personal identity, and the nature of love itself. While love can take on many forms, the peculiarities of their connection push the boundaries of what one might expect in a traditional marriage. Goodall married his fiancée, Angie Vanovan, on September 18, 2024, 6 days before being announced the winner. They tied the knot in Pasadena, California. Goodall dedicated his performance to Vanavan. Richard Goodall, a man known for his eccentric habits and unconventional lifestyle, met Angie Vanavan at a rather serendipitous event. It was an encounter that, by all accounts, should not have led to anything significant. Richard, an introverted artist who spent most of his time working in solitude, was attending a gallery exhibition when Angie, a bubbly and social entrepreneur, struck up a conversation with him. Despite their differences, they found themselves intrigued by each other's contrasting personalities. Angie's warmth and energy seemed to complement Richard's introspective nature, creating an unusual but magnetic dynamic. What followed was a whirlwind romance, one that defied conventional expectations from the start. Their engagement itself was unconventional. Richard proposed in a setting that few would consider romantic, a cluttered, dimly lit antique store. The store, filled with odd trinkets and forgotten treasures, seemed to mirror their relationship. It was here, amidst the chaos of a place that most would consider disorganized, that Richard got down on one knee and asked Angie to be his wife. This quirky proposal set the tone for their entire engagement and subsequent marriage plans. They both agreed that their wedding would be unlike any other, intentionally bypassing the traditional norms that many couples adhere to. One of the most striking aspects of their relationship is the way in which they challenge societal norms. In a world where many people are expected to fit into predefined molds of what love and marriage should look like, Richard and Angie are unapologetically themselves. They do not conform to expectations about age, appearance, or social standing. Their relationship is a testament to the idea that love is not bound by rules or restrictions. Instead, it is something that evolves organically, shaped by the personalities and values of the individuals involved. Another unique element of their relationship is the balance they strike between individuality and partnership. While many couples become overly dependent on each other, Richard and Angie maintain a sense of independence that is rare in modern relationships. Richard continues to work as an artist, often retreating into his own world for weeks at a time, while Angie focuses on her entrepreneurial ventures. Yet, despite these separate pursuits, they manage to maintain a strong emotional connection. They respect each other's space and recognize the importance of personal growth, even within the context of a committed relationship. The couple's approach to marriage also reflects their rejection of traditional gender roles. Angie, a successful businesswoman, does not see herself as playing the role of the traditional wife, and Richard, though more reserved and introverted, does not feel pressured to conform to the stereotypical image of a husband. This mutual understanding and flexibility have allowed them to build a partnership that is based on equality and respect, rather than prescribed roles. It is a partnership that allows each person to flourish in their own way, while still supporting each other's dreams and ambitions. Their wedding plans, too, are an extension of this rebellion against tradition. Instead of opting for a large, lavish ceremony, Richard and Angie envision a small, intimate gathering that reflects their quirky personalities. They have considered having the ceremony in an art gallery, surrounded by works of art that have inspired Richard's own creative journey. The idea is not to conform to the traditional notion of a wedding, but rather to create an experience that feels authentic to their shared story. They have created a unique bond that is built on mutual respect, individuality, and the willingness to break free from convention. Their story serves as a reminder that love, in all its forms, is a deeply personal journey that can take many shapes, and that the most unconventional marriages can often be the most fulfilling. The legacy of a humble artist. An aspect of Richard Goodall's global influence is his role as a cultural ambassador. As an artist who has performed around the world, he has had the opportunity to bring people together through the universal language of music. His international tours, which have spanned countries across Europe, Asia, and North America, have not only introduced people to his unique musical style, but also fostered cross-cultural exchanges. Goodall's performances often emphasize the importance of unity, collaboration, and shared human experiences, breaking down cultural and language barriers. This global reach has made him an ambassador for the arts, illustrating how music and creativity can bridge gaps between people of different backgrounds, fostering understanding and mutual respect in the process. Goodall's influence is also evident in the way he has impacted the entertainment industry itself. His success on AGT helped to shift the conversation around what constitutes a mainstream artist, opening the door for performers who do not necessarily fit the mold of typical commercial success. His refusal to be pigeonholed into a single genre, coupled with his willingness to embrace risk and experimentation, has inspired countless other performers to embrace their uniqueness. In this sense, Goodall has become a symbol of artistic freedom, advocating for a world where diversity in art is celebrated rather than marginalized. His impact on the entertainment industry is perhaps best reflected in the numerous accolades and awards he has received, as well as the fact that he continues to be a sought-after artist in both commercial and critical circles. Furthermore, Richard Goodall's legacy can be seen in the ways in which he has reshaped public perceptions of fame and success. In a world increasingly dominated by social media and instantaneous gratification, Goodall's journey reminds us that true success is built over time and is a result of passion, persistence, and the pursuit of one's craft. He has often spoken about the importance of staying grounded and focused on one's goals, despite the distractions that come with fame. Richard Goodall's legacy and global impact are vast and multifaceted. His journey from AGT winner to international superstar has not only transformed his life, but also touched the lives of countless individuals around the world. Through his contributions to music, his advocacy for social causes, and his role as a cultural ambassador, Goodall has demonstrated that true artistry extends far beyond performance. It has the power to inspire, uplift, and unite. As he continues to shape the world of entertainment and philanthropy, Goodall's legacy will undoubtedly endure, serving as a beacon of hope, creativity, and the transformative power of perseverance. His future endeavors are already drawing anticipation. Whether launching charitable foundations, mentoring emerging talent, or producing cross-genre musical collaborations, Goodall shows no signs of slowing down. His humble beginnings remain central to his identity, reminding fans that integrity and kindness can walk hand in hand with fame. Audiences across generations continue to find comfort and courage in his story, a testament to the universal language of authenticity. As the world faces rapid change, artists like Richard Goodall are crucial reminders of the enduring value of empathy, honesty, and creative bravery. His voice, both literal and metaphorical, will echo for years to come. Are you a fan of Goodall up until now? Tell us your thoughts, and thanks for watching the video.